And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in dotAge, in the what will likely be the last part of Stream 2 of this first run on a fresh profile. Um, as you can probably see, the apocalypse is upon us. It has arrived, and we've got 24 turns, over which we will have to defeat all 4 of the domains. So, we're going to have to go through our roses. Luckily for us, even though we could plant more roses if we needed to. I think we got 6 turns of roses. That should be enough to make it through the Cataclysm. So, not going to worry about that. We're not going to plant more roses. I'm going to swap to more aggressive methods of fighting various things. We're going to turn that health on. We're going to assign our health person over there. Maybe I don't have enough warmth, but we're going to turn the warmth on. Okay, we only have 1 artisan, apparently. Pull them off of somewhere else. Where else did we have that type of worker? The bookbinder, but he's not. The bookbinder's still bookbinding. You. I don't know. Turn. Oh, we need another knife master. It also helps if I'm trying to pull workers. I've got idols. Backfill them. So we got a knife master. I think we have another knife master. Yeah, okay. We'll give up making paper. That's fine. And then I need something to work there. That should be good enough there, good enough there, good enough there. I'm gonna have to let some of the food stockpiles burn down because we need the chicken. Why is one being used as food? Food or what? Oh, I'm guessing the dog. I'm guessing the dog eats chicken. Dog might have a problem because we're gonna run out of chicken. We need to get the tomato fields going again, so we'll do that. Otherwise, we're going to run out of either chicken or tomato fields, and we need one of the two to keep the nature up for at least 6 turns. At which point, we probably wanted to feed people, but... There we go. We'll see if the hunting respawns. We're also going to have a mini apocalypse in 2, which is an Omen-style event. It's going to be a bad event, but it is maybe not too bad. Although, this is the apocalypse, so it will be bad. Okay. Is there any chicken in the fields? No. So, our chicken is our chicken is our chicken. Which means we're gonna run out. Relaxing stand. Can I swap you to something that isn't tomato? No. So you're gonna turn off. That's not good. Which means we're gonna get less hope. Okay, so I'm gonna perform a stall set up, and then we can get another knife master to work the performance stall. That's one solution. Don't exactly need flour. What are my options here? Last I checked, my options were tomatoes or meat. And our meat's about to run out. And our tomatoes about to run out. We'll have tomato again in 4 turns. Well, that's a problem. Berries are back on the menu, so that respawned. Okay. Means I can save workers. Shows in the short term. We can try to get some herding going. Requires 1 within dwelling. So critter is white meat. Okay. Or do I want eggs? Can I get you to run off of eggs? No. Okay, then we want to butcher it. Want to do some butchery. Although I could do Butcher Workshop, which doesn't necessarily need to be as picky. Because it's got a higher yield. Yeah, okay. So hopefully I can get some chickens in these chicken pens. Regardless of the fact that the chickens aren't growing naturally in the wild. And then we can butcher them for some meat to keep the nature coming in. And, well, to feed the dog. The dog needs to be fed. Copper vein removed from the terrain, that's fine. We just won't operate that copper mine anymore. Copper vein, it used to be a requirement for the building that generates copper, but then it got changed to being a multiplier. The building probably isn't worth using if you don't have the copper vein, but that's not too much of a problem. The mini-apocalypse is coming, just like the omens. We need to be ready for anything. Okay. So, can we... Yes. The cost of 2 seeds, we can get ourselves chicken. That'll work. Cycle into the turn. We'll have some chicken. We'll have the ability to start harvesting some chicken for some meat. Hopefully enough to operate what we need to. And then we'll get some eggs in. Can this run off of eggs? No. So this is offline until we can get tomatoes in. Oh, okay. So nature isn't, because we've got the hang-on boons from temporary boon from something, I think. Yeah, doubt the domain. No, that's not it. It's one of the effects we've got going on is lowering this domain. So we're actually getting enough just off of that building operating. Yeah, with that, we can harvest chicken. And with the chicken being harvested, we're getting enough meat that we should be able to turn you on and feed the dog. And probably even turn one of these on. Okay. Food stockpile's a little bit more stable. We've got the situation vaguely under control, at least until the tomatoes grow in. We're going to have to use seeds to very aggressively lure chickens from the wild. But that works. Okay. You're harvesting chicken, you're... Oh, and if you got enough chickens, they grow more chickens. Okay, so we got 2 free pips. I don't think we got any left to research. Cultivation. Seed extractor is now available, okay. And grow grass is available. This is seasonal, so in theory we can get the plum trees grown. So let's get some plum trees planted. Requires wood terrain within 1. Okay. That makes it a little pickier. Yeah, that will work. Get me another chicken. Now get eggs. Which means if we've got the meat, and we don't currently have the meat, we can make meatballs to support more bourgeoisie pops. Let's plant 1 more plum tree. Anyway, this is going to be a bit of a switch. We're going to upgrade the bourgeoisie housing. And in theory, we've got enough that we've dealt with the first one. What have you done? End of the domain. The domain is vanquished. We have slain Cataclysm, or at least this run. Okay, so in theory I don't need that anymore. Frees up a couple pips. I suppose because of what we've done, we can now, in fact, make ice and then turn the ice into ice houses, or use the ice houses to make cold. You know what? Sure. Then we've got one. Oh, we've got tomatoes back in. Can I take a gaff berry somewhere? Oh, hemp's perfect for this. Do I need more chickens? Yeah, let's say I want another chicken. There we go, that boosts hope production. Can I get another one trained to be a knife maker so we can get that one going as well? Hopefully we get enough hope flowing that we can keep hope from becoming a problem. Also, we have unlocked for the next run the Shaman. New elders can now be selected. In this case, it is the Shaman. With tents and totem poles. And a peace tent. Now, at this point, our carefully planned stockpiles are simply there to be spent. The game, if we defeat the apocalypse, the village can handle itself. Doomsday. The prohibitive building, I remember it. The old elder told me to never ever build it as it seemed to anger the domains for no apparent reason. It is said they just found the tower a bit too tall for their tastes. Memory retrieve, Doomsday Tower. Okay. Oh, it's a way to preemptively trigger the Doomsday. We'll research that anyway, because there's nothing left to research. Oh, I nerfed my science a little bit by building next to the Just go to place. It's fine. Why are you guys not happy? You want a brick path to the town center. Okay. So we're getting complaints about people being homeless. Okay, that'll be fixed in a turn. In the meantime, that's causing, more fear. So, not super ideal. We've got a plan. A plan will fix the problem a little bit. Oh dear. Oh, that's not good. 8 people stunned for 3 days. The dying sun. A mini apocalypse is coming, just like the omens. We need to be ready for anything. Oh, I let all the chickens get harvested. There's no chickens to do chicken things with. Okay, we need you running. Probably want you running. You running. You turned off, which isn't great, but hopefully we're far enough ahead on that. That won't be a problem. What, I don't have enough of that to work? Okay. Gotta wait 2 turns before I can do that. That will allow me to get a person to be trained on storytelling, and then we can storytell, and we'll provide 40 more hope. I got enough flour stockpiled up. Keep that flowing. Keep the bread flowing. Yeah, the other miller is stunned. And Thinker is stunned. Just take more food that way. Okay, we got more chickens. Okay, that means I can get back to cooking chicken. I don't need that while working. Train someone to be a butcher, please. So we can mix meatballs. get someone to promote, so we can get them trained on storytelling. Make sure to keep the chickens coming, because the chickens aren't reproducing at the rate the butcher kills them. We need the butcher to be butching. And apparently I was, well, wasn't completely wrong. We did end up getting chickens back in the end, so can I get the hunters going? Okay. If that's the case, I might be able to turn the butcher off. Yeah, let's turn the butcher off. We'll get both hunters going. That'll be better than the butcher. And that allows us to micro less on the chickens, and then we have less concern with making them into meatballs. We have 36 books. So I think I got enough books we can be operating the theater the entire time. Okay, so we had enough warmth. We will be able to clear the incoming cold apocalyptic event successfully. We run out of berries. I think we ran out of berries. Well, good thing the plum trees are online. Buy us 8 more turns of food. Let's get another 3 plum trees growing. So that when those 3 are done, we've got more plum trees. Replant that. Workers are coming back off of being stunned, so we can get the mill going again. Oh, you need person trained. Ah, that's a bourgeoisie pop. That isn't prohibitive. Definitely doing one more bourgeoisie pop. Not have a big problem. Okay. Although at this point it would be making ice for a problem that will be already on ice. Figuratively speaking. This is not possible! Another domain defeated. Another end of the domain. We've defeated the Cataclysm. We've defeated the Cold. On to the Health. That will be next up in 6 turns. Then we will be but left to face the Fear. Three pips left to do various tasks. Let's get some more lumber coming in. Don't really need more planks, don't need more bricks. Working on tools. We probably don't need more advanced tools, although we could swap this over to making advanced tools. Yeah, we got enough tools, we can swap this one to advanced tools for a little bit. By a little bit, I mean probably mean the rest of the run, to be fair. And we can get you running. We got meatballs coming in, so we can definitely feed our rich class. Oh, you can consume eggs as well. That would be the perfect choice for that, yes. Some glop to serve the common folk. Okay. Oh, I need the knife master. Okay. And then that will free up the shear person to make books. You going? That's good. Okay. Sure. Here's the mini apocalypse for health. And it could be mean. It could be like 8 more pops get stunned or something, so. What's the bad news? Projectile vomiting. Yeah, that's the bad news, guys. 9 pips are sick for 10 days. Mini apocalypse is coming, just like the omens. We need to be ready for anything. There we go. I think that's should be employing what? How many do you treat a turn? 2. Okay, I'm just assuming you can treat more. Fair enough. Okay, let's treat 2 more. And we are health positive, so we don't really need to treat these people because of our bonus for sick people have double sickness effects, but can work. But we're gonna treat them, because that's just the right thing to do, I think. If we didn't have that bonus, it would almost certainly be the right thing to do, because we'd have 7 people unable to work. Unless we treated them. Okay. You off. So you're one of the sick ones. You're one of the sick ones. And those are both pretty specialist jobs, so I'm pretty sure we don't have replacements for them. From the tasks they're doing, but that'll be fine. And yeah, we're getting better and better on the hope to fear ratio, so I think we are golden to finish up the apocalypse here. Okay. You work where? Okay. Treat the next one. Those guys back to work that we took from last turn. Okay, it looks like all the berries have been harvested. Although the freshly planted plum trees are maybe good to go. Gather some berries the normal way. No, the old way. We'll cycle the turn and get the health event out of the way. Health cataclysm out of the way. I think we still probably, you know, treat the rest of the set. But from a gameplay standpoint, there isn't anything really requiring us to at this point. Arrgh. End of the domain is vanquished. All that remains is fear. And then we'll be done with this apocalypse. And I think we're ready for fear. It'll be here in 6 turns, but we're ready for it now. Pick up pigs, so next time we could have pigs. Pigs, boar, big game, hunter, slaughterhouse. I don't think that retroactively applies. Oh no, it does. Yeah, there's no way I think to get pigs spawned in at this point. No, actually, we could get pigs spawned in. Oh, there wouldn't be any pigs to hunt, but we could get the pigs high up and get pigs that way. Okay, you're the last stick guy. And yeah, at this point the domain's turned off, so I could just take the person off of medical industries because we just don't need them anymore. Yeah, we'll treat the last sick guy because that just seems thematic. And well, I can't start on the pig stuff until we research it. And we're working on the clock tower at this point. books being produced again. Anyway, 7-6 turns. I believe we win. To be fair, this is the first time I've unlocked the Doomsday clock, which calls the Doomsday. To make it appear, obviously, I think you need to research everything that is available. So it popped up because we had everything researched that we had available. We picked up more stuff we could research since it appeared, but usually I don't need to do that deep of a dive, at least in normal difficulty, into the tech tree. That may be a me thing. Okay, cycle the turn. We're going to get the last of the mini apocalypses. Also, I don't think it was in the game the first time I did the first run through all the way to completion. So both I was a weaker player back then, so I wasn't doing as much science. And that very first playthrough, it wasn't in any way, so even if I did research everything that was available, it wouldn't have shown up. So yeah, it's the first time I've run into it. And of course, your first run through, you're going to have the smallest tech tree, because you haven't unlocked too much stuff. We got 12 pips morning. Death was as common as water in my time, but not all pips can handle the stress like I could, and we're left grieving. Okay. So that's going to make it a little harder. And I don't know if the grieving pips don't work. If they don't work, we may have a problem. Yeah, they don't look like they're working. We can start to clear the morning. This clears 1 per flower per turn, and we got a lot. Yeah, that might take a while. Okay, there's one workaround to that, and that's we can make a bigger graveyard. As weird as that sounds. You can make a bigger empty graveyard. Oh, and I can't even treat them because we don't have enough. We don't have enough flowers. No Knife Master around. Okay, we can get you running. We can get this running again. Okay. I think we're good. It's going to be closer than it would have otherwise been had we not got morning. We're going to treat as many as we can. And the rest are just not going to work for the rest of the run. And that'll be fine. I don't think there's anyone to bury. Yeah, no target available. Okay, so we're gonna lock the tower. Well, we should have a free worker, so I can attempt to build the tower. We're not gonna build the tower in time, but we can start building the tower. There's the Doomsday Tower. And of course, at this point, we might as well try to research what we've got left. So, the pigsty, the slaughterhouse, and the big game hunter. We'll just keep it like that. This is on the paper for you to work. Get you working, so we got plenty there. Get some eggs coming in. Some glop coming in? Yeah. And there we go. We'll go ahead and, this is where we'll... Oh, actually, if I free... Get the glop maker up. We're gonna plop the building. It's not gonna get built. Oh, I don't even have enough fancy tools. Never mind. We're making the fancy tools, but there's not gonna be enough of them for another 8 turns. The game's over this turn, so... End of the game. Good game. That last one at least gives us the good old GG. End of the domain. The domain is vanquished. What happened, Elder? Is this the end? I think... Yes? This is it. We survived? We did it. The domains are defeated. Our curse is lifted. Good job, my fellow pips. Now let's rebuild everything once again. And this is the story of how our village was born. Now, excuse me, I'm going to go take a rest. And this Twitch chat says, that is the end of the game? Question mark. And so this is a sort of a roguelike game. That's the end of this town, let's say. Thank you for playing. I think technically at this point it goes through the credits at this point. Hope you enjoyed the world of dotAge at least as much as he enjoyed, the maker enjoyed making it. Dedicated to their father. Is there a way to skip this? I think this is a game made by like just a small number of people, so credits here should hopefully not be too long. Yeah, I think most of the game I think is made by one person, and then there's some help they got with like the music and stuff like that. Yeah, as you could have seen as we're going through, you unlock memories as you go. Oh, and it tells us we completed the pigsty as we ended. So mastery unlocked. You have just beaten the game on normal or higher mode, and you have unlocked challenge mode for this elder. Narrate outlandish stories, increasing difficulties, increase the story's delirium. The mastery level increases each max delirium victory. How far can you go? So that's sort of the challenge mode associated with an elder, if you want to make a particular elder harder. And got a bunch more memory points for completing your run, based on how many days you played, completed researches, how many good events you get, produced resources, domains vanquished, if you complete the story or not. And the Doomsday Tower that we found, researched and we're contemplating building. If that makes you save days, you get an extra bonus score here. So that's the scoring mechanic for a run. So now we've got research variations that may come up in future runs. There's some scenarios that we can start up with. And it does have a scoreboard. I think the scoreboard's per profile. So this is a fresh profile. Do you want to continue the story? No more events. No. So if we were to continue at this point, we'd be starting a new story. So we could hit play and we can start up a new run, effectively. We can also go ahead and collect some more memories with the extra memory points we got. So the next run can have beer. Added beer to the things that we can unlock. Unlocking injuries, so injured, bleeding, bandages, and the stuff that goes with it. Sheep. So an alternative to pigs, you can have sheep. And we can either pick up recalling memories or boons galore. We'll go with recalling memories. So this allows you to, when you've got multiple different possibilities that can come up, it's going to randomly pick one for you. This is a mechanic that lets you, for a certain number of times in a run, pick a specific one. So yeah, if we wanted to play again, right? It's got a roguelike effect where you've got that memory system. Via that memory system, you can unlock other elders. So we were playing with Mateus here. In the process of playing through that one run through in Mateus, we've unlocked the Shaman. So the Shaman has differing sort of scenarios associated with them. Right, so the Shaman starts on the glade instead of the valley. The Shaman has animal empathy, so anytime you kill an animal, you generate 5 fear. That could be a problem for you. Has a love for nature, so plants and crops maturing generate nature. So this is very different from Mateus, who's just like, yeah, resources are resources, do what you want with them. This is an elder that's like, yeah, don't kill the animals and grow plants. And starts with slightly different resources. So instead of, well, you got wood berries, and you'll notice you start with the leather. Well, how do you get leather? Well, normally you've got to kill animals, right? And instead of normal houses, we got tents on this one. So you now have to, like, okay, to grow the village, you need leather to build tents. But yet you're also playing an elder that doesn't like to kill animals. Yeah. And you get totems here. Bring up the totems, which give you. This is your research building. You're forced to play with totems on this one. This one requires animals within a terrain of 1. I think the higher tier ones also give you more based on how many animals are next to it. Yeah, one for each animal in the terrain next to it. So your research is dependent on keeping the animals alive, but at the same time, you need leather from the animals to make your tents. Although the village hall is still the same after you upgrade it. It's just the tent line that requires leather. Keep building tent into large tent. Although, unlike the houses from the previous run, the tents have a bigger road around them, so you get more territory when you set up a tent. Or when you set up a tent, you get more territory. So you're not going to have as many tents, but you can get more terrain when you grab the tents. So you're probably going to be running a lower population run, for example, because you maybe don't want to do as many, don't want to kill as many, so you don't have as much leather. Exclusive buildings, tents, the totem system, and animal theater, which is a hope building that gives you hope for every animal within one terrain of the theater. Alright, so very different playstyle. Force buildings, you have rabbits, you have the peace tent, which isn't locked, this isn't to them only, but is a different way to get hope. Basically, hemp makes hope. For those of you who get that reference, you get that reference. And then you have rabbit shearer, so instead of butchering rabbits, you can make rabbit fluff off the rabbits. So that's the two we've got unlocked. We've got Mateus here. This is a fresh run where we've done one run through. So if you succeed on your first run through, you're likely to get to the same place where you're gonna have Shaman unlocked at this point. There is an expansion to this game. I don't have the expansion, so these three I believe are the expansion. I think this guy's the sage from the silhouette. There's a sage, Santa, the old sailor, I think. A sailor, or well, actually, I think these are all the elders. Yeah, so I think there's like a sage one. There's Santa. There's a sailor one, which does a bunch of stuff with fishing and building sort of docks across the ocean. And then you have, oh, I forgot his name, but he's sort of the homeless elder, and that sort of gives you a very inconsistent start. Is a good way to probably describe that. So there's definitely lots of different play styles, and then there's obviously 3 more elders that have been added since the expansion has been added that I don't know anything about. Twitch chat's asking maybe they don't know where the leather comes from. Well, maybe they don't know where this first 6 leather comes from. But at the end of the day, I think they know where the leather comes from. Because you're kind of that's the whole point. That's the whole difficulty I think with having animal empathy on there is you've got that clash of reality, right? Where it's like, okay, you need leather to get more housing so you can get more pips. But at the same time, you don't necessarily want to be making leather. You don't want to be hunting the animals. Which is very contrary to, like, Mateus, where you hunt all the animals, or the sailor, where you fish all the fish. And the fish do count as animals, too. So, fish are not free of that restriction. And while these, getting nature from harvesting from plants and crops maturing is great. It doesn't. That's a different stat. So you've got a boon and a bust, right? Boon and a bust. Yeah. And of course, if you want to change the difficulty, you can do fast speed or slow speed. You can turn the difficulty up. You can even go all the way up to challenge and make it particularly merciless. Or you can do insane domains where you turn the threat generation up. Hard thoughts, all sorts of different things you can do. So there's definitely ways that you can min-max this for making it a much more complicated or interesting game for you. But yeah, this is where we effectively played through one run. We played through one run on a fresh profile to show you how the first run would be. And at this point, you either would go on to the shaman. In fact, you probably go on to the shaman. Is probably the most sane place to go. If you unlock the shaman, right? Maybe you screwed up. Maybe you weren't quite as good as I have. I have some experience, right? And maybe you didn't get far enough along in Mateus to unlock the shaman. In which case, you do Mateus again. But yeah, you probably either do the shaman or you go do Mateus and you play around with the difficulty to find a difficulty level that works for you. But yeah, this is a fun game. If people want to see more of this, I may end up doing a run as the shaman to try and lock some more of the game here, so that people aren't are able to follow along. In theory, I've of course played the game quite a bit, so I could say pop into a different profile and we can lock some of the other, look at some of the other guys. We can look into Profile A is probably the most unlocked here. Or actually, we'll go in the Profile B. Because I want to look at the elders that I've got unlocked here, so you can see what the other elders are before we end the run here. So yeah, we got the shaman. We've got Yugon, who's sort of the sensei sort of person. He likes farming. Crops get a bonus for 1 for each of the 5 same crops in clump. Joint projects, all tasks take 1 turn but occupy multiple pips. Shifting lands, his lands are prone to shifting. He has a river starting bias. He has the abode, which is a house that holds a lot of commoners. And so on and so forth. He's got a slightly different starting cycle. He's forced to have the rice paddy. You have the captain. Which starts on a seaside village. Dwellings built close to watery terrain have +1 space. These areas more likely to have storm, so on and so forth. At one point, there was a Christmas event that added Santa. It was a fun event. Santa's a hard elder to play, let's just say. And then you have Randolph here. Story of my unfortunate cousin who nobody believed. All sorts of things happen in the village. So, chaotic events. Train is the unknown. Like extra mini events, so things just happen. Crazily happen. You start with wood, carrots, egg, and 1 basic tool. Right. So, that's all the elders that I, for example, have access to without the DLC. But yeah, if people want to see more of this, probably the next run we'll do is probably as the shaman. So people can follow along as we unlock memories. Yep, that's the game. That's the sort of the default game here. Those are the elders. We'll go back to Profile C in case so I can remember where we are for the next run. If you're watching on YouTube, the upcoming plan. Well, my upcoming plans have changed a little bit. So I'm gonna have to dog sit coming next Thursday. So based on my understanding, when this is going to release, this will release, I think, after next Thursday. Not quite sure when this is going to release. I'm gonna have to double check tonight. So my plan right now is that I'm going to drop from a 4-game, 4-night cycle to a 3-game, 3-night cycle, because when I'm doing the dog sitting, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to stream reliably during that period. So I'll just plan ahead, try to record a little bit ahead of time. So there probably won't be another... Well, there won't be another part of this up tomorrow, and I'm not going to go ahead and start another game, different game. We're going to focus on the 3 other games we've got going. So I can record a little bit farther ahead, in case I have to skip a couple streams. So that's what's going to be going on. So expect there to be 3 games up tomorrow. Let me go ahead and bring up the stream schedule so I can tell people what those games are. Okay, I had a slight sneeze there. I think I got it muted in time. So tomorrow will be Xenonauts. We're going to continue Xenonauts. I think the run is going more successfully. Hopefully we can keep it going successfully. The day after tomorrow will be Strategic Command, World War I. We're going to continue the Cold Arms campaign as the Central Powers. I think that is going pretty well. I'm going to resist spoiling it more than that. It's going pretty well. And then Monday will be Shadow Empire. I think we're now 8th out of 11. And situation is improving, although the situation is still slow. But Shadow Empire is continuing. And then, assuming that tomorrow's Xenonauts does not end the Xenonauts run, Tuesday will probably be Xenonauts. So on and so forth. And we'll do a 3-day cycle. We'll still try to record 4 to 5 parts a night. And then what we'll do is that'll give us a little bit more for every day we spend recording. We'll get like a day or two farther ahead. That way I have content to go over the period when I'm dog sitting, because I'll be dog sitting one of my family's dogs during them being away for Thanksgiving. So yeah, Twitch chat is confirming Strategic Command, World War I, Shadow Empire, and Xenonauts. I believe in order of Xenonauts, Strategic Command, Shadow Empire is the cycle right now. But yeah, those are the 3 games. With that, I think that's it. So if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you have been enjoying. If you want to see more of this, feel free to leave a comment. If you want any of the mechanics explained, I think I explained the mechanics pretty well as I went. So if you want any of the mechanics explained, feel free to let me know as well by comment. If you're watching on Twitch, if there's anything you want to see as far as memories or, for example, we can bring up the Agepedia here, and anything we've explored in the game or unlocked in the game, we should be able to see in the Agepedia. So if there's anything you want to see, we can't necessarily go back into that city because the city goes poof when you're done with it. But yeah, with that, if there's anything you want to see in comments, feel free to let me know. If you're watching on Twitch, I'll leave the stream for about a minute after I end the YouTube recording. And with that, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next one, and bye for now.